So hello guys, welcome to the second part of International Strategic Management. So over here we will talk about entering and operating in an international market, where it has its subcomponents like importing, exporting, collaborative venture and strategic alliance, licensing and franchising, foreign investment mode, outsourcing, global sourcing, offshoring, multinational company, its types and its types on the basis of management and organization, transnational company, foreign direct investment, types of FDI. So over here in entering and operating in international market, so we will study about IB mode of entering in the international market and operating successfully. So we will read here about many technical terms like importing, exporting, collaborative venture and strategic alliance, which includes a strategic alliance, joint venture, consortia or consortium, management contracts, turnkey operations, equity alliance, licensing and franchising, which is special collaborative arrangement, outsourcing, global sourcing, offshoring, multinational company, its types on the basis of management and organization, transnational company, foreign direct investment and its types, greenfield and cross border. So first we have importing and exporting. So it is commonly used for entering in the foreign market. Exporting is making the product in the domestic market and selling it into another country. It involves the use of marketing channel to reach to the buyers in the foreign market. The exporting is performed by export agents, overseas marketing subsidiaries. There the types of importing exporting, we can call it as counter trade. It refers to the range of barter like arrangement by which goods and services can be traded for other goods and services when country's currency is not compatible. Next we have collaborative and strategic alliance. So talking about a strategic alliance, the collaboration of two or more the firms to follow a specific strategy is known as a strategic alliance. There are two types. In the formal joint venture, two or more firms have equity stake, and in the short-term contractual agreement, in two companies they agree to operate in the particular task as developing product through research and development. So it is the created for following reason. It protects company from the political and economic risk. It addresses situation in which company do not have competent employees, and it is done in order to gain a specific resource for collaboration, which includes distribution network, knowledge, culture and image. Now joint ventures. So collaborative arrangement between the unrelated parties and the firms which exchange and combine various sources while remaining separate independent entity is joint venture. There are various combination of ownership. So when government is involved, it is known as mixed venture. It is done to achieve the particular strategy. It is also based on strategic alliance. There are two types, equity and contractual. So equity joint venture, it involves each partner taking the equity stake in the venture. Each partner invests in equity. Meanwhile, in the contractual joint venture, it is a contractual agreement between the partners. So talking about advantage and disadvantage. So advantages are there is smaller amount of investment, there is better understanding of the host country, and there is sharing market cost and risk with local partner. Talking about the disadvantage, there is the risk of giving the control of technology to the partner, there is share of ownership leading to conflict and battle, and there is confusion in controlling and investing firms. Next is consortia or consortiums. So it is similar to joint ventures, but it has differences, like it involves large number of participant firms. It operates in the country or the market where no participant is currently active. So here more than two organizations from different countries participate in the joint ventures, which is called consortium. It pools financial and managerial resources from the different firm and different country. So it lessens the risk as all the investment is not made for single organization. Now we have management contracts. A company signs a contract with another country or the company to manage its assets till the time that it develops human resource or technology necessary for managing assets. So management contracts are primarily used when foreign companies manage better than their owners. They are the means by which company may transfer such talents using the part of management personnel to assist the foreign company for the short period of time for a certain management fee. So for example, East India Hotel or Oberoi Hotel has taken contract in managing the hotels in Egypt and Australia. So it has some following advantage, disadvantage. Talking about the advantage, it is viable option for the tech firm to enter in the global market. Good strategy where the host country lack the skills. It is alternative of FDI. It do not involve high risk, yet it still yields high return. Talking about disadvantage, there is loss of control, time delay, loss of quality, and loss of flexibility. Next is turnkey operation. So firm agrees to set up a operating plant for a foreign client. They hand over the key when the plant is fully operational. If the Chinese company build a factory in context of Nepal and makes it ready to operate, it hands over key to the local party in Nepal. So there are advantages and disadvantages. Talking about advantage, it is a way to earn economic return from know-how and exporting technology. There is the useful, it is useful where FDI is limited by the host government. It is less risky than FDI in unstable political or economic environment. Talking about the disadvantages, firm has no longer term interest in country and take the minority equity interest. The firm create competitors, for example the oil refinery in the Middle East, and the firm process technological is source of competitive advantage. Talking about equity alliance, so collaborative arrangement between two companies from the different country is known as equity alliance, in which at least one of the collaborative company take the ownership position. Each party take the ownership by buying the part of the share or swapping or exchanging the shares with each other. It is done to solidify the collaborating contract such as supplier and buyer contract, making it more difficult to break when the ownership is large enough, and to secure the board membership for investing country. It occurs when the firm create alliance in the equity investment by participating in equity capital of business. Now we have licensing and franchising or special collaboration. So licensing, it is the arrangement where one company allows another company to use its brand name, trademark, technology, patent, copyright, and other assets in exchange of royalty, which is based on sales. So it includes excessive transportation cost, government regulation, home production cost. For example, Coca-Cola company supplies the formula to bottlers Nepal or licensee. So it has following advantages and disadvantages. Talking about the advantages, it helps to spread research and development. There is little additional capital. It is legitimate IPR in foreign market, primary use of manufacturing firms. It allows firms to invest at a barrier. It is inconsistent product. Talking about the disadvantages, inconsistent product quality prohibits origin to invest in the foreign. No tight control over the manufacturing marketing strategy, and firm lose control over the competitive advantage. Talking about the franchisee, it is a specialized form of the license in which the franchisor not only sells the intangible property, which is IPR, but also insists franchisee to accept the strict rules and regulation as how to conduct the business. So it involves of long-term commitment in this strategy. It is operationally assist business to continue independently. Franchisor gives franchisee right to use its brand name and all the related trade market in the return of royalties. So talking about advantage, disadvantage, advantages are the way of gaining the foreign returns on the customer service, limited financial commitment, royalty payment are some percentage, and it relieved of cost and risk of opening new market. There is no manufacturing operations by foreign company. There is ability to make the profit to support the competitive attack. The reputation is a high risk when no quality control, and the firm set up master franchisee in each country. Talking about wholly owned subsidiary or foreign investment mode, a firm owns 100% stock in the foreign country. There are two forms: greenfield investment. So it involves established of wholly new operation in the foreign country. Direct investment that occur when the firm headquartered in one country build the operating facility or subsidiary in the foreign country. The foreign operations then become widely and wholly owned subsidiary of the firm. It capitalizes on lower labor cost. The goal is to transfer the production to the location where the labor is cheap. Next is acquisition. So it occurs when the company of relatively bigger in the size or operation acquire another established company in the foreign target market. It is a good strategy when the company want to enter in the foreign market rapidly, yet it retains the maximum control. There are some reasons for acquiring the overseas company. First is product and geographical diversification, gaining the expertise on marketing, technology and management, having rapid entry into the market. We have outsourcing. So it is the purchase of selected value adding activities, which includes production of intermediate goods or finished products from the independent suppliers outside of the country. So it is the cost effective to outsource these activities. For example, BOP, business processing outsourcing, where firm purchase from the external suppliers as a service of accounting, HR, travel service, IT service or customer service. Global sourcing, the outsourcing of the product or service from the independent supplier or the company owned subsidiary located abroad for the consumption in the home country or the third country is global sourcing. It is also called global procurement or global purchasing. It is a foreign market entry strategy that relies on contractual relation between buyers and foreign source of supply. There is domestic sourcing, which allows the firms to avoid the problem related to border regulation, tariff, language, culture, currency. But many firms prefer the global outsourcing as it covers larger scope and offers more choices and high efficiency. Now we have offshoring. It is the reallocation of the business process or the entire manufacturing facility to the foreign country. It relocates the home country's business or the factory plant to the foreign country. It is common in the service sector, including banking, legal service, and customer service. Next is the reason for outsourcing and global sourcing. First is to obtain the lower price. Next is getting higher technology product, getting better quality product, obtain better delivery service. Multinational company, so it is the organization with extensive international operations in two or more countries simultaneously. It involves producing and selling goods and services in other country. It consists of the parent company called the home country. It is its two or more subsidiary is called host country. The parent company and the subsidiary function at high degree of strategic integration. So strategic integration means it aims at achieving the synergy through creation of compatibility and interdependence across the varied organizational groups, process and activities that are autonomous in the nature. According to the United Nations, multinational corporations cover all the enterprise with the control assets, factories, mines, sales office and like in two or more countries. Transnational companies. The companies, it is similar to the multinational company, but there is a small difference. Transnational also operate in many countries, but there isn't centralized management, so they do not have a home country to manage them. Itself start as a new company, they take decision suitable to operating context. It employs senior executive for many countries and try to make decision from the global perspective. For example, Nestle, Toyota. Now talking about the differences between the multinational and transnational company. Multinational company have a centralized management system. They own a home country and its subsidiaries, and it faces barriers in decision making due to centralized management system. Talking about the transnational company that maintain significant operation in more than one country but with a decentralized management. They do not have subsidiaries, but they just many companies. It is able to gain more interest in the local market since they maintain their own system. Next, we have types of MNC. On the basis of the management orientation, it refers to the management orientation developed by MNC in abroad. There is ethnocentric. It uses the home country culture and technology and management. Next is regiocentric. It uses the system of home country as a region. For example, the rules of Arab in all the nations of the Middle East. Next, we have polycentric. It adapts itself to the host country system. For example, Thailand people get holiday on the Buddhist holidays, but not on the same. Next is geocentric. It is the combination of all the three. So it is the worldwide approach for the global management system and the culture. For example, CEO of Microsoft and CEO of Google both are Indian. So over here, underlying belief and the senior management staffing on the basis of different reason. So on the basis of ethnocentric, there is belief that what works at home country will work everywhere. Polycentric, every country is different. Geocentric, global integration integrates the good thing from the each country to find the best way. But in the context of senior management staffing, in the terms of ethnocentric, mostly from the home country are there. In polycentric, mostly from the local operations. For geocentric, only the best talent internationally is available for senior management. Now talking about on the basis of the organization propose. So there is a raw material seeker. So MNC is established in the search of raw materials, earliest form like British East India Company. Next is market seeker, where MNC go for lucrative market for their goods, and it is common and popular form used by Unilever or Suzuki, etc. Next is cost minimizing MNC, where it explores and enter in the market of the lower cost production in the most recent and emerging form with a minimum cost, which makes it competitive in the market. Talking about advantage and disadvantage. So advantage is that there is FDI, technology transfer, development of the skill, competitiveness, employment opportunity, and industrialization. Talking about disadvantage of MNC, there is the form of monopolistic political corruption, harm to the environment, profit back to the MNC, and importing their skilled labor. Talking about foreign direct investment. Foreign direct investment is an investment in the form of controlling ownership in a business in one country by an entity based in another country. It refers to the investment placed directly in the business operation of the foreign country. FDI usually involves participation in the management like joint venture, transfer of technology or expertise, which includes mergers and acquisition, building a new facility, reinvesting the profit earned from the overseas operation, and intra-company loans. So moving the capital across the border is for the purpose of actively controlling the property and the ownership of a company in the foreign company. So talking about advantage disadvantage of FDI. So advantages are it diversifies the investor's portfolio, it promotes stable long-term lending, it provides financing to the developing country, it provides technology transfer. Talking about the disadvantage, it is not suitable to the strategic based industry. Investors have less moral attachment. There is unethical access to the local market. So types of FDI, there is greenfield investment. It is concept of building the new manufacturing facility in the foreign country. For example, Honda built in USA facility in 1980. Next we have cross-border merger and acquisition. They merge with or buy the foreign companies. For example, the Ford bought Mazda of Japan and Tata bought Jaguar of UK. So that's the end of the chapter 4 of International Strategic Management. So thank you guys for listening. I know this video was very long because of many of the technical terms. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe. You guys are amazing. Keep reading.